Well, good afternoon. Fig and Fruit Nursery and Orchard. It's May 3rd in southern Illinois. It has been a rainy mud hole again. You can see some water out there. But this is week 10 of the fig growing season here. And as you can see, there's been some big changes. All the boxes are gone. All the styrofoam is stored away for the winter. And all the potted trees have been moved over to their new greenhouse. Greenhouse number 3 now has a skin on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out here, and we're just going to do what we do every week. And we're going to look at everything and see how they are. We'll even have the outside orchard in here somewhere too, but we're going to start here in greenhouse 1. And we're going to walk down through and just look at each tree, because you can just now kind of getting to see, with the boxes gone, how big they are. So, and just for reference of size, these frames are 4 foot tall, 4 foot wide. Just for reference, so that you understand how big these trees are we're looking at. This is white Adriatic. And it clearly, let's get down here as far as we can and see if we can find any more progressed, but don't look like it. All right, we're going out there and name them all. White Madeira number 1. Clearly, there's double bumps everywhere. And I still got to get back in here and do some tying up and trellising. I have not had a chance to do that. This is Allier. Like this limb here, got some nice sized figs on it already. It needs to get tied up here, but I'm gonna go get some stuff for some trellising today and start working on this down through here. I'm gonna put trellis on all these boards down through here, and here, and I'm just gonna use 1/2 inch conduit and just screw it to the inside right here in this corner, and then it'll just run right down through there. All right, this was all yay, and you can see it's got a lot of well-formed figs already. We'll be picking them. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll be picking these by the 1st of July. So to me, to get to pick figs off of an in-ground tree by the 1st of July, it's fabulous. You can see it has plenty figs on it. It's coral black, not near as far along, but it won't be more than 2 weeks behind. It's a big, nice tree. You can see how big around it is. All right, I just seen something here. We're gonna have to get the Sluggo Plus out and get this ground done. Try to get rid of them things. Little roly-polies, they'll eat your fruit. I still got some weeding to do in here a little bit. I got the weed eating around the edges. It's coral black. It's got quite a bit of fruit on it. It's young Yorola. It's gonna fruit. This little tree is going to fruit. All right, yellow long neck. Looking around. Don't see any double bumps at the moment. Yeah, there we go. Moving along. This is Caldedom Blanca Negra. This is Cavalieri. Already got fruit set. So maybe, just maybe, it'll be a little earlier, a lot earlier this year. I'm gonna have to go back through my video and see if I can see kind of when it set fruit last year. Super Jumbo DK. Constantine de Algiers. Green Mitchkarinsky. Now you see how big those fruit is on this side of the tree. There's another. These are apicals. Now let's go back here where they're just where they're just getting going. You see where you didn't leave the apicals. There's ones with apicals. Look how big the fruit are. See the ones without the apicals? That's why I like to try to leave some apical buds. You're just going to get some earlier fruit. So when you can, and you got to, you know, you've seen some of these, they need to be tied up here. That's just kind of part of it. Negra Diogde. Definitely needs some thinning. Got way too much going on here. Or at least I think it does. It's trying to set some fruit. But like on this one here, if I would just eliminate this branch like that, look how much more room she's got now. Both branches benefit from that. And you could root this if you wanted to. It'll root. I've got plenty, so I don't need to root them. I'm just going to come through and clean a lot of this off. I'll root some of the ones that, some of the varieties that I need some more trees of, like green Mitchkarinsky. But you know, looking at it, I don't really feel like, outside of what's around the base right here, I'm not going to do too much more thinning on that tree. Yeah, probably won't leave that. So, you know, there'll be a few things we'll get out of there. But I'm going to get in here, finish weeding this. And this is Bass's favorite. And doing some thinning. Bass's favorite's already set. And it's fairly progressed along, how far along their figs are. So that's promising there. Real promising. Because that's only like a 3-year-old tree, and it was just put in the ground last spring, and I didn't do the rejuvenation prune on it. It's got some little shoots coming off the bottom here. I'm gonna have to, I could use more trees of that, so I will probably let them grow a little bit, but we'll put air layers on them immediately. This is Sapphire 4. All the Breba fell off, so there is no Breba. So whatever figs we get off of this will be main crop. And it has a nice baseball size fig. Let's just hope that it doesn't drop 85% of its crop like it did last year. It's been rejuvenated, and it's had enough time in the ground. As far as I'm concerned, there ain't no excuses. Caladon Nori. Need to definitely do some tying up on this one. Thinning don't look too bad. Don't look like it's got a whole lot of thinning to do. It's got lots of double bumps on it. This next one here is Smith. Already got some nice sized figs on it. Starting to come along very nicely. Anywhere there's an apical bud that was left, you could see how much larger the figs are versus the non-apicals. Let's see here, these are all apical. Look at that. But now here's non-apical. So it's going to make a big difference, but it's also going to make, for being I have some apical buds on these trees, it's going to just give me a longer pick season for my suppliers that I'm going to be supplying this year for figs. Okay, this next one here, Black Mantazina, it did not have, yes, it did have the apic. This is apical. This is not apical. And this is an outside limb. So yeah, no fruit on it yet, but the apical already has fruit, or should you say got good double bumps. Border soaked grease, starting to. I think Score Black's a little further along, but maybe not. There's going to be some figs on it early. Definitely need to do some tying up. Norilla, there was a lot of apical buds on this tree. And we're going to look at this one here, and then we're going to turn and look at another Mount Etna right behind it, which is right there. But this, we're going to just talk about Norilla first. I need to do some thinning. Okay, like this down here, these here, I don't think there's no point leaving them in there, because this has got that took care of up here. Really doesn't need any more than that, but all of this stuff down in here, I'm just going to cut it off, and I will just cut these both here off and be done with it. Norilla, then you can see how far along the bumps are on it. There's some apical bud, already got some nice sized figs. Now there's only one apical bud on this Black Greek Marius. Everything else is double bumps, so it's coming on. But let's get down here. Here's our apical. Did it fruit any quicker? Is it any further along? No. But with it being chopped back like this real hard, it changed the overall hormones in the tree. Even though I left one apical bud, if it had had a lot more, it would have done a lot better. Where it only had one apical bud, that one there only had one limb I chopped back. The entire tree, well, okay, two. It had two limbs that I had chopped back, and everything else is apical buds. So you can clearly see the hormone difference. I know they're different named trees, but they are both Mount Etnas. And to prove this point further down the road, I'm going to be putting another Mount Etna over in greenhouse 2 to compare. And then we've got our potted trees to compare as well. This is Turca. Now, it has, I've been seeing double bumps on it. Or at least I thought I did. It hasn't started to really mature out any fruit, but it's starting to show some signs of double bumps. This is Del San Juan Ron. You notice later on my graft, and I want you to notice later on, I'm going to show you my grafted Del San Juan Ron, and you see how far along the figs are on it. It's starting. It's got double bumps. All right, we looked at the Black Greek. This next one here is Zarfiro, and it definitely needs some tying up done because it is everywhere, laid over with long limbs. It's got double bumps as well, but it definitely needs a bunch of trellising done on it. This next one is called Adam Bodhisotinka. Showing some good signs. I was thinking I had seen maybe some Breba on there. Yeah, there's a nice Breba. There's some nice Breba. Here's some apical. It's got, on the apicals, you see it's already got some nice fruit. There's something else that's interesting. Let's see what that turns into. This monstrosity huge tree here, I'm gonna cut it back this next year. This is YOLO bypass. Cut it back a little more. It's got double bumps on it, so it's gonna fruit way earlier than what it did last year. And just so you know, I want you to see how thick this thing is. It's a big, thick tree. This next tree is called Adam Mutante. It's a Breba. See if it's set any fruit up here on its apicals. No, yeah, there's some double bumps. So it's getting there. This is called Adam Gigantina. Starting to see some double bumps form on the apical buds. There's some here. This is an apical. Here's one that's not. Kind of hard to tell, but they're coming on. This is Super Red Hybrid. This is a large fig. I've already got, this is the trellises I used on that last year, but I'm going to switch all this over to 1/2-inch conduit for trellising. So this is red sham. There's an apical back here starting to form. And then last but not least, and it looks like it's the farthest along of the three here. This is Brazilian XP. This is probably my favorite of the three. It's the smallest fig of the bunch, which is still 50 grams. I mean, it has nice size fig, but they're not this big. They're just like this, and you don't really, it doesn't split or nothing like that. Like where the others can, if it's really humid, they might split in the eye just a little bit. They're not unmarketable like that because it's really common, but this one is definitely a lot further ahead over these others down here as far as the red sham, super red hybrid, and then my super jumbo DK. It's definitely going to ripen first this year, so that's kind of an interesting note. All right, well, there's the greenhouse. This greenhouse here, we're going to take a look at the rest of them. I think I'm going to I've had this south door open, and it keeps it quite a bit cooler in here when the south door is open. So I'm going to actually close this south door because it's supposed to only be in the 50s and low 60s for the next 4 or 5 days. And I would like to keep it a little warmer in here than that. Keep them running more into the 90s. I don't have my phone on me, or I could check the temperature in here now, but I've got a sweatshirt on. So it's probably 55 degrees today. So it's a good idea on days like this, and especially when it's cloudy, overcast. You don't want to. I can close the doors and it would be 10 degrees warmer with just a little bit of sun. So I'm just going to close this front door up and keep it a lot warmer in here, and it'll help keep these things growing, and they don't mind that at all. They would rather have the warmer weather to keep them growing, and that's one of the secrets to the greenhouse and how I use this thing to my advantage to get these longer, later, more exotic figs like the caldidoms. That's how I get them to ripen almost an entire crop here. Just by my strategy of my closing and opening the doors makes a big difference. I haven't even bothered to open the west side. I keep the north and the east side open this time of year, and usually keep the south and west side closed. So let's go look at the rest of the stuff. We'll go see what else we can find to look at. All right, we're out in the outside orchard. Got to have this for measurements. So there's your Hardy Chicago. Ease on down through here and see what's happening. These are all Mount Etnas that we're looking at. They all seem to be okay. I don't know what happened here. I believe this was Owensboro. Leaky Deutsch. Don't think I see anything. Moving on. Plain field. The trace displays getting going. Super Jumbo starting to progress. Oh, no, sorry. Super Red Hybrid. Moving along. This is Pellegrino. Celeste. Ah, it's born prolific. Very prolific. It's got a lot of growth going. Pingo de Mayo. Get some of these weeds out of here real quick. Yep, Pingo de Mayo's going. RDB's got a little piece shooting up there. There's another one. No more. Don't have a VDB out here. It didn't make it. Oh, that don't look good. We can go in there. Teramo. Doing good. Scott's yellow. Yeah, right there some. Sultane. Nothing else up through here. Let's see. Long yellow. I don't see anything. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there they are. Gotta look a little bit sometimes. Brown turkey. Got some going. They're starting to get going. White Marseille. Yeah, my outside figs are starting to put a little on. Another Hardy Chicago. Cavalieri. Dome from Mario. Quite a bit of growth. The Day Solis, lots of shoots coming up. Dead Cat 7. Texas VA1. It's growing back, but it won't fruit. Agata del Ora or Alma. Definitely got a lot of shoots coming up from the bottom. LSU purple. That was a black Greek. It's died. Spot for you dark. I don't see anything yet. Emmeline's purple. Definitely got something going on in the hole. Naples yellow. Ollier. Monroe yellow. Tiger. LSU tiger. And it's got on a limb. That limb's still alive, so it's growing up out of there. It'll produce, it's growing from over here. It's everywhere. It's gonna have quite a bit on it. LSU champagne. Scott's black. Long D out. Looking good. Apple pie. And last but not least, cherry pie. That's where they're at out here. It's greenhouse number 2. Black Celeste. Doing good. I thought last week that Bordeaux Negra Ramada had a start, but it turned out to be a weed. I'm about to dig it up. LSU Tiger. Pretty sure has died. Wait a minute. Don't get too excited. Look at there. I don't got to dig it up. Thank goodness. All right, Alcara's good to go. I believe it's maybe trying to put some fruit on. I don't know. We'll see how it does. Prima Demora. Need to get in here and do some weeding. I'm going to actually get in here, weed, and put some black down on these beds. That'll help get rid of these weeds. Hay today, Argentile. Looks like I'm going to have to replace it. Nor de Ballone. Don't look good. Moral de Canevas. Killing it. Looks great. I even see, look, it looks like a double bump way down there. Blue Princess. Looking good. Planera. What we got here? See that right there? See that? Yeah. There it is. It's coming back. Don't got to dig Planera up. But if it's not coming back at this point, I'm going to dig it up and replace it. Fig going. Oh, not good. Nope, I have to bring one out. Got one for it. Sessic. What we got here? Any luck? It seems like if you clean this off, when you have a fig tree that dies back like this, it helps to get in here like this. If you want to try to see if you can salvage them and wake them up, get in here and dig around this like this. I think that looks promising. And you see how this is a lot thinner right here, and then it gets wider here. That's pretty good indicative sign that we know this is dead, but maybe this piece of the tree is still alive. So we'll leave it in there and give it another 2 weeks, and that's going to be the end of that. Iranian candy. I've kind of cleaned this one off, but man, I ain't been seeing no good sign. That's just a weed. I have one, may have to replace it. We may just go on and replace it. Capulcurt Negra is good to go. Yeah, definitely got to get in here, do some weeding. I-258. No luck. I hate that. looks like it's dead. So what I'm gonna do with these ones that I'm thinking's dead, I'm gonna dig them up and I'm gonna put them in a pot and set them over in the corner and water them up a time or two, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe they come back, maybe they don't. This is for Dawn, from Nikki. It is as tough as nails. De La Senora Hibernica. Don't know. The base looks okay down here. It looks promising, but we're gonna give it just a little longer. Campaneri. No need in worrying or waiting there. It's growing on it. Moscatel Preto. If I have to replace it, I'll just replace it. I got one. And because I have one, I may just swap them out. Nope, not woke up yet. RDB, no luck. Black Zadar is a winner. All right, so there's a 22 in here that was semi-unprotected. We're about ready to get in here and get these other varieties planted in here. That's what I've been kind of assessing. Here's some white blackberries that I up potted too late in season, and they it kind of devastated them. Kind of my stupidity. If you're gonna up pot any blackberry, any kind of berries, if you're up potting them, do it while they're dormant, because if you dig them up when they're like this, that's what it'll do to them. Don't do what I do there. I did that at a request. It knew better, but that's kind of the result. I'll trim them back and maybe I'll get some grow back, and we'll see. Some new varieties. Looks like they're starting to kind of come on. This one here said fruit. I don't know. If anybody knows anything about that variety, chime in below. I don't really know anything about it. I got it. I got a couple cuttings from someone out west, so we'll see. That's cucumber or cantaloupe. My watermelons didn't germinate very good, but cantaloupe did. All right, so let's move on. Let's go see what's in the other greenhouse. We'll just walk right over there. All right, this is greenhouse number 3. The other two greenhouses, 1 and 2, they're 100 footers. This is a 72 footer. This is a Sakura Black that I originally dug up several months back in the early spring. It's going to be going in the ground here pretty soon. Just haven't got to it. It's got fruit set. This is going to be where I'm going to bring all my 4x9s out, and I'm going to put hoops over this. Here's my hoop bender. This is a 4-foot hoop bender. I got it from Farmer's Friend. Actually, no, I take that back. I got this from Bootstrap Farmer. So this is a 4-footer. We'll see. We're gonna make some up with this using some 1/2-inch conduit, and then I'll put a shade cloth just on that, and then I can bring all my 4x9s out here and put in it. It's not hot right now, so now's a good time to get them in here and get them acclimated. This will probably hold around 1,000 or more trees. All right, there's the potted collection. It was hard to believe there was that many potted trees in there, but I didn't bother to count them because there was a bunch. We was kind of, let's get them moved type thing. Whole bunch of different. This is basically what you're looking at on this side is all my potted collection of all my different varieties. These are more like duplicates over here, that 5-gallon and 7-gallon pots that I'm selling. Local pickup only. But this is my collection of all my potted trees, kind of out where you can kind of see them. I got to get in here and do a little staking. I don't do much pruning on these other than in the fall or in early spring when I pot them up. That's it. Then to me they're ready to go. I could probably do a little thinning. This is a hardy Chicago. I wanted to show you its figs already. But you know, like there's one right there that really, this is a Tacoma Violet. I need to put a stake on that. We'll get down here in a minute. I'll show you my Fico Secco. I have staked it. I got it kind of somewhat staked up because it's a Y design with a double limb. That narrow limb over there didn't wake up. I'm probably gonna whack it off, just root it. But it's already got fruit set. I got it kind of tied up. Bunch of different stuff. So I still got some space for some young trees over here. We'll get those moved in. Actually, I got a lot of I got a couple hundred Mount Etnas I'm gonna have to pot up this season. So this will give me a place to just kind of stack them back through there. But yeah, here's what it looks like. Kind of the easiest way to do it. A lot of figs. A lot of figs. I don't know what, this is one of those varieties I've lost the daggone tag to. Be nice to know what it is. We'll find out once it fruits, I guess. It's good and early. Here's another tree I need to stake up. It don't have a real good base structure. I have some concerns about it, but I need to get in here and stake it up kind of like that. This is called a Dom Blanc. This is a Rourke, very far along. Everything's looking good, and these things will get a lot more light like this for sure. It'll make a big difference on them. That's a little out of ruler. Well, I gotta say, it's nice to have a third greenhouse, be able to get these potted trees kind of out here. This is Nero 600. Give these things a lot more room. LSU Tiger. Here is this is that grafted tree that has Galsawami Ron and Proponi on it. And since we're kind of studying this grafting thing, this side is Propone here. And I got to get out here and get it sprayed. I will do that here just shortly. And that's its root stock. I think there might be some advantage to this whole root stock thing, especially if I can get earlier figs by grafting to an earlier varietied rootstock. Another LSU Tiger. I have a couple of them. It's a really good fig. It's like a large, more complex Smith. This is Morona Costa. This is that is Fig Hunters 279, and it has fruit set. This is Sweet Cherry Tart from Sacred Origins. Looks like it's going to finally get some fruit on it this year. Both of these trees are 3-year-olds. So they've been a little bit taking their time about fruiting, but that's okay. We're patient. We are patient. There is the potted trees. Makes a big difference having a lot of room, having this set up. I'd like to thank the two guys, Jason and Grant, that helped me get all this moved around and set up yesterday. We spent part of the day Friday just getting it. Got the plastic on this. Something to be said about putting plastic on a greenhouse too. If you've never done one of these, I'll give you a quick little piece of advice that after doing 3 of these, we can say that we have definitely found the secret to it. So when you do this, you want to, and I'll just tell you how we done it. So we rolled out the plastic on this side, and we got in the middle, and we wiggle wired about a 4-foot section. We tied ropes to the corners, pulled it over. And when we pulled it over, we got right across on the opposite side, pulled it tight, and wiggle wired another 4-foot section. And then we got on each end, up on top with a ladder, and we pulled and got it tight. And then we put just a little section of wiggle wire right there in that, right there, to hold it. It was just, you know, maybe 2 foot on each end, just to try to hold it tight. And then we went back to the bottom and we started working these down and pulling it tight on each side, on somebody on each side. And then I started pulling the tops as they was doing the sides and pulling the sides at the same time, and we worked out from the center going each direction. This is definitely about the tightest we have ever got one. So that's kind of, if you haven't never done this is the secret. Probably should just make an independent separate video about this, but hey, if you're watching my weekly update, I like to talk about all kinds of stuff. It don't necessarily have to be about setting fruit. That's just kind of an easier way to put the plastic on. It only took us an hour to put the skin on this thing yesterday. That was flying compared to what usually takes us a good solid 2.5 hours. And sometimes we have to undo it and undo the wiggle wire and readjust it and try to tighten it, get a wrinkle in it. So if you ain't got no experience in putting plastic on, there's you an easy tip that might help you out and make it just a little easier in putting plastic on. Let's look at, here's our Desert King. I also noticed that my Bergen Unknown was showing some nice figs already. That's a good plus. That's one of those you want to let. It's a really good fig, but you need to let it hang till it starts getting ugly, I think. There's Campaneri. Nice early fig. This is a real winner here. All right, so there we have it. That's week 10 update. There's the dog crew. Oh, Big Red. There's Daddy Junior. Yeah, why would I call Daddy Junior? Well, I call Daddy Junior here because he is the junior to our old dog that I had when I lived up on the other farm when I was running horses. His name was Tigger, and this is he's a pup out of Tigger, so I call him Junior. And this is his puppies. And there's old Black Ear. He got kind of an Indian name, didn't you, buddy? All right. Well, they're gonna fight and wrestle, it looks like. Y'all need to get out of here before we tear something up. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good weekend.